that, what can I say? I haven't raised Marv yet.
Ongoing.
Yeah, it's true. However, I will say I couldn't have done the 4 kids without Marv. And
That's true, biologically.
I couldn't have raised him without it, even if he did go away every other day and leave me home with 4 kids. But that's all right. That's great having him as a firefighter. He was there to really put out the flame when I would get a little uptight. Tonight, we are honored to have Greg Huey come and speak to us. He's a publisher of the industry newsletter, Direct Response. He's the president of Creative Direct Marketing Group, which is a full-service direct response advertising agency. Over the past 30 years, he has shared his expertise through presentations and workshops, association meetings, direct marketing clubs, conventions, private seminars, colleges, universities. I don't know when he had time to have those 5 children that you had doing all those wonderful things. He's also lectured at USC. Sorry for those of you that are UCLA Bruin fans, but UCLA or USC is pretty special, and that's quite something for him to have also, have lectured there. He also, in 2011, he received an award for. What was that award for? It was for marketing, wasn't it?
Oh, well, we've done 78 awards for marketing, but I received Defender of the Seniors Award from Pat Boone and the 50 and Over Association.
He's also been a political conservative for many years. In 2011, he ran against Janice Hahn, who is now back in Washington, D.C. But one of the things that's really amazing, for being a Democrat that had all that Democratic money behind him, or behind her, she only won 56 to 45%, or 54 to 45. So I think that's really something. And many of us in this room tonight, we're down there making phone calls for you.
Thank you.
And we really enjoyed doing that. Something though, that he is also married to a beautiful lady by the name of Shelley. And Greg was born in Los Angeles. He grew up in Hawthorne. He graduated from El Segundo High School. And he also went to the University of California at Long Beach. And that's where he received his degree in political science. Greg, we're honored to have you come and speak to us tonight and hear what you have to say.
Awesome. Thank you. Thanks, everyone. Listen, for years I've taught junior high. So if it's okay with you, I'm not going to use the mic. Is that okay?
Okay.
All right. So first of all, how many of you did walk or talk for the campaign that we ran? Well, thank you. Those of you who prayed for us, all that. Thank you so much. How many of you are readers, subscribers to Reality Alert, my newsletter for evangelical Christians? Anyone? How many of you are subscribers to the Huey Report? Anyone? All right, got one. So there will be a sign-up sheet going around that I encourage you to sign up and get one of our 2 newsletters. You'll find information you won't find anywhere else. Plus, as I explained, we make recommendations for all the judges and all the candidates. And we've done this for over 20 years. Now, you take a look at what's going on. Is it disturbing?
Yes.
Oh, hell yes.
Does it concern you that prices keep rising? Does it concern you that taxes keep rising?
Yes.
Does it concern you that regulations keep rising?
Yes. Yes.
How about the problem we have with unemployment?
Oh yeah.
How about those in their 20s who can't get a job? How about judicial activism that's overthrowing laws that were legislated?
Yep.
Is this a problem? Is it a problem today that we have a national debt of such historic limits approaching $18 trillion? That your kids and your grandkids probably will not have the opportunities you had. Now, these are some of the key issues that the majority of America agree with. They agree with you. But why is it the Democrats win? We see in special elections, we might be able to win. With the race some of you helped with, where I beat Deborah Bowen, the Secretary of State, and shocked everybody, because with zero name identification, we lost by only 7,000 votes in a 20-point Democratic district.
Okay.
One that Obama took by over 67%. We almost did it. And we see Republican victories in special elections. Why is it we lost in 2012? Well, we're going to take a look at some of this because you really need to know. We do have an economic tsunami coming that is going to be devastating to us all if we don't turn this around. And so there's a mystery. And the mystery is this. How many of you really thought Romney was going to become the president? Wow. You know what? Romney thought he was going to be president. Much of the news media who hated him thought he was going to be president. Some of the polls showed he was going to be president. What happened? We're going to take a look at what happened. Because, see, there was an obscure U.S. senator who in 2004 came out of nowhere and he won the Senate race. And then he later, in 2008, shocked everybody because he beat Hillary Clinton, who was unstoppable. And then he beat John McCain. Nobody thought he could do that. And then he beats Romney. How did he do it? JFK was said to be elected because he learned how to do TV. And Nixon did not. Obama became senator because he knew the internet. Obama beat Hillary because he learned how to integrate technology and ground forces and phone banks into a way that had never been done before. In fact, what he did in 2008 and then did in 2012 revolutionized the way elections are run. Totally changed and transformed the way elections are run. Now, 2010, the Tea Parties rose up. 2010, Republicans were so motivated, upset over Obamacare, upset over so many things, that there was a historic sweep of Republicans that absolutely shocked President Obama. His dream of total transformation of America was crumbling. He thought he would win 2010. He did not think he'd lose as big as he did. So, 2011, I get a phone call from an old buddy of mine. We used to meet over here in Glendale with Young Americans for Freedom at William McBurney's place. Dana Rohrabacher gave me a call. He's a congressman in Orange County. said, Craig, you need to run for this office. Jane Harman has resigned from Congress. I said, Jane, I don't know how to run for office. I would never want to run for office. I don't think I could run for office. I know nothing about it. Well, I think you should run. Then I got other phone calls. So I had this guy take a poll. I had zero name identification. I had no money. I did have a database. And I had my marketing skill. And for over 30 years, I've had my ad agency. And I know all the new marketing techniques. And I did what is really on the surface insane. In a 20 plus Democratic district, I said, I'll run. And everybody laughed. I was up against people in the district that were Republicans who did not want me to run. I was up against no name identification. And then giant, each candidate, Janice Hahn and Deborah Bowen had $2 million each in that race. And I couldn't get anything. Nobody wanted to donate. And I beat Deborah Bowen. All of a sudden, I was over the New York Times. I was on Neil Cavuto on Fox. I mean, all of a sudden, where'd this guy come from? And then it looked like I might be able to win. Still, I couldn't get money. But I hung in there, I fought, and something strange happened. I went to the market, and somebody would come up to me and they said, Craig, I got a phone call for 30 minutes. I said, what? I went to church, and they said, Craig, for 45 minutes this person was talking to me. And wherever I went, I kept getting these people saying, phone calls. I'm going, what is going on? And my consultant said, oh, this is called a push-pull. They're just making a few of these. And we went on, and after the election and our loss, the consultant disappeared, but an article in the LA Times did appear. It said Obama's Organizing for America, which is now Organizing for Action, got 15,000 applicants after the 2010 loss. They selected out 1,500 summer organizers to come into the district that we knew nothing about, paid for by Obama. They made 1,509 hours of work. 410,000 live long calls by the most trained, disciplined army on how to take the persuadables and make them hate me, and take Republicans and try to make them not want to go out to vote. So they tried to use all these different psychological communications, and they knew what they were doing. 41 phone banks. And the LA Times said this was Obama's test campaign to be able to be ready for the 2012 election. Well, what did that mean? Slowly, little bits and pieces were being leaked out. Peggy Noonan. Anybody know read Peggy Noonan? She wrote an article in the Wall Street Journal saying politics of from Martians. And what she wrote about was how Obama had kicked out all the consultants. He said, I don't want any consultant that's tied to the past. Instead, I want fresh ideas. That's pretty gutsy. So he got rid of the Democrat, and she made fun of the fact that this was like politics from Mars. Well, there was a room of less than 100 people that she talked about. And what they called it is called the cave. Anybody hear of the cave? Every one of you should know about the cave because that's where this all started. They put up a picture. I'm sorry. So I'm coming at this, what's going to go on in the cave, I'm coming at it not from somebody who's running for office. I'm coming at it from the fact that throughout the world, I go around talking about marketing trends and the latest marketing. I'm supposed to be a marketing guru, and I'm not recognizing what they're doing in politics. And now I'm starting to learn what they're doing. And so they have the cave, and what the cave proved is that the Republicans were acting as if it was the year 2000. Everything they did in politics and in phone banking and in walking was like the year 2000. But they were acting like it was today. You know, we live in a world of technology. And instead of running from it, they embraced it. And they beat the Republicans badly in 2012 because of it. We're acting as if it's a past, and we can't win when we act like it's a past. We've got to start acting like beyond. Now, what I'm going to disclose to you can be pretty depressing. But here's the big thing. We know what they did. We can do it better. But we've got to. And right here in La Cañada, you can mobilize yourself with some of the things I'm going to talk about. And I'll explain that in a second. So they had the cave. They actually put up a big picture of Mars, mocking what Peggy Noonan was saying. These people were behavioral scientists and most advanced engineers. Facebook, Google, Twitter, all these companies sent over their best engineers to work on the Obama campaign. And they started from the ground floor up without any ties to the past, saying, what do we do fresh and new? And they started applying modern technology in a way it's never been applied before. They worked 16 hours a day for 16 months. And they were some of them volunteered, but most of them were pretty highly paid on loan by these big tech companies. And they were able to put together something that Romney could not understand. In fact, the Romney campaign was acting like it was the year 2000. I'm a student of what they're doing. They have conferences I'll tell you about. The person who was in charge of all this said, if the Romney people and marketing people and campaign staff had actually come to the cave, learned what they did, they wouldn't care because they know they wouldn't do it. That was how convinced they were. So, what was the key to success? They learned door-to-door personal communication, like community organizer type stuff, was absolutely key in developing relationships. They used technology to help door-to-door and calls, knowing that they could get a 5% increase in minimum by using the technology. Petitions. If you were on the email list, like I am, of these left-wing groups, progressive groups, you would be getting petitions. Now, you may be getting a few from conservative groups. It's nothing like the advanced technology that they use. I mean, I have 4 petitions right now using this technology. And you know what it does? It gathers information on each person. It's not for influencing Congress, legislation. It's building a base of supporters, activists, phoners, walkers, donors. Massive petitioning to create databases. Massive polling to create databases. They've learned that they need to know who the persuadables are. If they know you're a Republican and you vote, they don't want to talk to you other than to discourage you. If they know you're a Democrat and you vote, they don't want to talk to you other than to ask for money. But it's a big group in between that they concentrate on. What do the Republicans concentrate on? Oh, let's go to the Republicans. They learn that you have, in testing, you test communication on what to say and what to do. When they go to the door, well, with Republicans, when you helped out on my campaign, my consultant, what he told you to do is either phone or do, are you going to vote for Craig Huey? Oh, okay, thank you. The Democrats don't do that. Their primary thing is to say, let's carry on a conversation. What do you think about Craig Huey? What do you think about Janice Hahn? And they record what the key issues. My big issue is abortion. My big issue is unemployment. My big issue is education. And they know, for micro-targeting, what that person believes. When they go to the poll, they go up and say, hi. My name's Craig. What's your name?
Leonard.
Leonard, do you think you're going to be voting in June?
Probably.
Oh, good. You've got to vote. Now, I'm going to count on you voting. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to call you the day after the election to find out how it was for you, okay?
Sure.
That dramatically increased the number of people who went to the poll. They also had emails going out to neighbors saying, your neighbor hasn't voted yet he's agreed to vote for Obama. They had a variety of things with Facebook and social media to get the vote out early through the mail. That was their big concentration. Then they scientifically devised the plan to go out and get people to the poll on election day. They were doing it differently. They have a whole institute of training for people on how to make the phone call and how to do the door-to-door. If you go to the Republican headquarters right now, they'll probably say, here's the script, here's kind of something to say, good luck. But the Democrats collect the data and train you how to put almost pressure on that person to make an action. And all that they've done has been tested. So they did Facebook and Twitter and the new media. What they did on Facebook was probably illegal, but they knew how to move around the laws. Trained field. They concentrate on having trained people. We're volunteers. They have paid, trained people from campuses, community organizations. The Democrats have the field staff. Obama learned through his community organization he had to have organization. And targeted messaging. And then they increased the GOTV from 15% to 60%.
Well,
by the tested methods that they use.
that's huge.
The Republican consultants sit in Sacramento and make big money on writing direct mail pieces, and they have no clue what's going on today.
What's GOTV?
Get out the vote. So the keys to success was collecting data objectively. They did not put their prejudice into it. They analyzed the data objectively. They tested everything. They did micro-testing according to tiny groups, used modern field strategy, and they were able to register and get people out to vote like never before. Uh-oh. I'm sorry, you can't hear this.
Looks like you.
It's not a long, short time.
He supports privatizing Medicare and Social Security. He even called unemployment assistance to the jobless immoral. Craig Huey, he's just too extreme for his own.
Now, you don't know if there's a speaker hookup on this?
No.
Okay. All right, we've got a few videos I'm going to have to skip. Here.
Craig, I can hold the mic to it.
Oh, yes, on the next one, because I got Obama's #1 TV. I want you to hear it. TV commercial. So, hey, I'm too extreme for the South Bay. But do you know a conservative candidate in Dallas was too extreme for Dallas? One in Iowa, Georgia, all over the United States, they use the same line, too extreme for. Why did they use that? Because they found out that they got more people who were the persuadables, not the Democrats, not the Republicans, the persuadables didn't like the idea of being too extreme for their area. They had a unified message that went through focus groups, testing, all kinds of analysis for every single word.